Hey guys, No Mind here. In today's video, I wanted to test out the ambush strategy I've been hearing a lot about, using the ambush scarabs and everything like that. I did this in T17 maps, mainly abomination maps. These are the scarabs that I went with. I used 3 ambush scarabs because that's the limit. I also used ambush scarab of discernment. I only used one of these because that's basically the limit. Makes it so strong boxes are more likely to be rare varieties. This means you get more currency, Arcanist strong boxes, and divination strong boxes. One downside of this is that you do get some cartographer strong boxes, which I think is like the rarest strong box. But unfortunately, it's pretty useless when it comes to this strategy if you're just looking to farm currency. So that was kind of a letdown when whenever that happened, but it wasn't too often, For this last scarab, I decided to use Ambush Scarab of Potency, which makes it so 75% increase effect of explicit modifiers on strong boxes in the area. I feel like this was a little better than Ambush Scarab of Hidden Compartments, which makes it so 50% chance for strong boxes in areas to be openable again. Again, I think these are pretty interchangeable. It just kind of you can kind of just go with whichever you prefer. I mean, this might actually be better. I don't know. But in my 100 map test, I used Ambush Scarab of Potency. And then this is basically the loot from these maps. These 4 tabs over here is basically all the loot from the T17 maps using the ambush strategy. Again, you can see I had a huge ton of maps. Lots of jungle valleys. These sell pretty well. 55 clean, non-corrupted jungle valleys usually sell for 1 divine. As you can see with the scarabs, I did have a few scarabs here. Some rare varieties. I did have 4 of these. Ambush Scarabs of Containment, which are, at least a little over a div each. Let me talk about fragments. This is the most valuable fragment, reality fragment, as well as this devouring fragment. These are both 1.1 divines each. Again, I'll show you the wealthy exile at the end of the video here. To kind of give you a brief overview of the loot. And then we picked up 57 raw divine orbs from the ground. A lot of the divine orbs duplicated. I do have a lot of YouTube short clips that I decided to post kind of showing the duplications happen, which was super exciting whenever the duplications did happen. We also found 3 circuit orbs, which is pretty notable, guys. Circuit orbs are very, very, very rare. And if we were a little bit more lucky, this could have been a Mirror of Calandra, but of course we are never lucky in this stream, unfortunately. I found 1 ancient orb. This is probably from Delirium orb I used. This is not from the map drop or anything like that. I did find some annulment orbs, 29 raw exalted orbs, 65 stacked decks. As far as cards go, I did have a lot of void cards. As you can see here, I have 37 here. I had over 100, which I decided to open on stream randomly. So I am missing a few divines worth of the void cards, but that's okay. You guys get the general idea. Basically, this is basically what we had, and I'll show you in the wealthy exile in a second. Some notable divine card drops that I did have, which weren't a full set, but they were still very notable. I already showed you the fragment tab, and then this is basically the dump tab that I had. Again, nothing really special, but overall, it was very good, very consistent profit, I would say, even with the investments. And here is the breakdown of the investments right here, guys. So I did run 100 maps. They were mainly T17 abomination maps. I did kill the boss every time in these maps to get the fragment, because that's sometimes, we had no divine drops in a map, and most of your profit comes from the fragments that the boss drops. So to buy 100 T17 abomination maps at the current market rate, it would cost you about 90 divines. The scarab cost was 36 divines total. It was 19 for just the regular ambush scarabs, and then 1 divine for these ones right here, ambush scarab of potency, and then 16 divines for the ambush scarab of discernment. So we needed 100 of these, 100 of these, and then 300 total of these, because you can use up to 3 in 1 map, and we ran 100 maps. And then delirium orb costs and divines. So every time we ran a map, we made sure we used 1 delirium orb on it to kind of put the delirium fog on the map. So that was about 4 divines total if you buy them for 5 chaos each. Again, it doesn't matter which delirium orb you use, really. You're just looking for the delirium effect on the map. I guess you could use currency if you're really trying to min-max it, but if you just go with the 5C delirium orbs, it would cost you about 4 divines. And then the cost of chisels in divine orbs, this was about 3 divine orbs. 4 chisels per map. I just used the regular chisels. I didn't use the fancy Maven chisels or anything like that. Total cost of running the maps in divine orbs is just basically, taking the sum of all these values here, was 133 divines. Our total revenue from the maps and divine orbs was 282, as the wealthy exile shows right here. So the total profit in divines from all the maps that we ran was 149 divines, which is, not bad. And if you switch over to the wealthy exile here real quick, guys, you can see here we had 57 raw divine drops. Also, we had 23 Valdo's puzzle boxes drop, which I thought was pretty cool. And again, we have the devouring fragments, as well as the blazing fragments, which are about 40C each, which is not bad, to be honest. We had about 16 Eldritch Chaos Orbs, and some of these like do pretty often in my experience, and these are like 48C each. And as you can see, I did have 6 Divine Beauty cards, which is kind of insane. They're priced at about 64C, about, 3.2 divines total. And yeah, and the list goes on. We did have Cartography, Scarabs of Multitude. We had 27 of these, which is about 2 divines. Bone Scarab of Awakening, we had 2 of these, which is, I guess, 2.1 divines. And as you can see here, the list goes on and on. I'm not going to read every single one of these, but you can kind of take a look. We have the 3 Circuit Orbs right there. And yeah, guys, again, it just keeps going down. A lot of really chunky drops you can see here, guys. I mean, 20C is very still notable, especially if you're like selling in bulk or something like that. But yeah, that's basically it right there. Also, on the map device, I did use the Ambush Scarab craft, which is, I believe, about 4C every time you use it. But again, the chaos you get from the maps more than makes up for like the costs. Okay, guys, to roll these maps, basically what I looked out for was basically more scarabs and more currency in the map. At least 70%, I was happy with it. So again, right here you see more currency plus 70%. I was okay with this map, and then I would just use my Awakened PoE trade macro to check for the bad mods. And if there were any bad mods, I would just kind of roll over them. If I was super lazy, I would kind of let some of these bad mods slide. My build isn't super optimized. All I really have is a Headhunter and a Yoke of Suffering. Again, very cookie cutter build. The biggest thing I have is like a Progenesis. It got the job done. I did use all 6 portals sometimes, so we did definitely get the job done. And then once I was happy with my more currency, or sometimes I would be okay with like a mix of like more currency and more scarabs. Like for this one, for example, more currency, 140%, I would be super happy with this. I would probably roll over this though because of the 100% more life. But once I was happy with the map that I got, I would then quality it to 20% just using regular chisels. And then I would just use 1 Delirium Orb on it to give it like the Delirious effect. So we just have like a little bit more quantity and a little bit more monsters on the map. And again, to talk about my Atlas tree, it kind of looks something like this. Just basically all the Atlas effect nodes. Beyond, I mainly did Beyond, and obviously all the Strongbox nodes, and then a few Scarab nodes and everything like that. And I did take some of the Shrine nodes as well, and as well as these Ambush nodes. Currency items from Strongboxes in your maps are duplicated, which is super, super strong. Like the bread and butter of the strategy, and the divination cards from Strongboxes in your maps are duplicated also. So again, whenever you did get those big drops, you want to make sure you have these nodes so they are always duplicated. And then I took some Eater Altar nodes. I'm sure there is a more efficient Atlas tree out there, guys. This is just what I decided to use. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, make sure you like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. We are getting close to that 1,000 subscription mark, which is like a pretty huge milestone for me. So I would greatly appreciate it if you help me along my journey. Also, make sure to check me out on my Twitch, twitch.tv/nominds, 2 S's at the end. Stop by, say hi. I always love chatting with new people that stop by on stream. The next challenge we're going to be doing, we're going to be leveling a Hexblast character, and we're going to attempt to do 500 Sanctums. I'm not sure if we'll have time for that, but we're definitely going to do a large quantity of Sanctums, and I'm excited to see what type of loot drops this time for us. Again, that's it for me, guys. Have a wonderful evening. No mind out. Peace.